the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight, we're here at Lernerville Speedway for the Madness in May, presented by Schaeffer's Racing Oil, as the drivers compete in this Triple Crown Series. Last Sunday night, we were in the midgets at Kokomo. Tonight, we're in the 410 sprint cars at Lernerville. And I'll tell you guys what, this is going to be one heck of an exciting night of dirt track racing. In the booth with me here tonight is none other than Ryan Kent Jr. Ryan, how are you doing?
KR, it's fantastic to be with you from the virtual Lernerville Speedway, Schaeffer, Pennsylvania, which it calls home. A fantastic a racing track. Many would argue that this is the most difficult dirt track, especially to be consistently fast on, and especially as it starts to slow down and get slick throughout the course of the night. So this is a real driver's racetrack, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the night plays out, KR.
It's going to be a wild night all night long, as these drivers are going to be battling the conditions of the track. As you mentioned, when it starts to slick off, it will be interesting. Let's go ahead and go through our point standings, as this is race number 2 of an 8-race series throughout this month of May. Our points are brought to you by CX Wallets. Anton Hernandez picked up the win last week, but he is not going to be here according to our sources. So he has the points lead, but that is going to change. Chase McDermott in second place. Dustin Griffith sitting in third. Fourth going to Richard Lewis and Jacob Gordon, rounding out your top 5. Some big names here inside the top 10. Justin Owen, Ryan, was someone you were talking about here at Lernerville, someone to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that's my boy Nick Harris's pick, is the juice box boy Justin Owen tonight. I used to announce for the Boss Sprint Car Series, a non-wing sprint car group, and he has picked up, I believe, 2 wins now. Lernerville, and that's one that I had there a couple of years ago. But Justin has found success at Lernerville in real life, and expect him to be one of the contenders tonight. Guys like Skylar Brown have been very, very quick in some preliminary events, some unofficial race sessions that the league has hosted so far, much faster than I was earlier today. So going to be fun to watch how the top guys start to battle it out, and see if my boy Nick Harris can get his bets in correctly and make some money on Juicebox boy Justin Owen tonight.
All right, so while we have a moment, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the people who have made tonight's broadcast possible. Schaeffer's Racing Oil, Dirty Dale's Diesel Performance and Auto, Herbert's Properties, Gray Auto, Bob O'Link Liquors, CEX Wallet, Quick Lifts, Union Graphics, Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling, Paxson Flooring Installation, Murray's Automotive Detail and Performance, and finally Evan Gindling Plumbing. So all of those sponsors there are associated with these drivers out here tonight. And these drivers all have race cars, and with the lockdown, Ryan, they wanted to do something special for the people who support them, and they threw this all together. I thought last Sunday was an awesome job, and here we're going to see these guys in these Wing 410 sprint cars and what they have in store for us tonight. I couldn't tell you, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah, there's a good contingent of drivers that run sprint cars, whether either with or without the wing regularly. As I mentioned, a lot of these guys are Hoosiers or Indiana natives, and have run sprint cars, either currently or in the past. So most of these guys are a little more familiar with this than maybe what they were the midget last week. just last Sunday. So should be a great time. But like I said, Lernerville is going to be a big challenge for most of these guys. They talked about as the track wears away, and not having a wall is something different to the server, to guys in real life as well. So going to be a fun one here tonight, KR.
That it is, Ryan, and we're looking forward to it. But here we go. Practice is winding down, qualifying, getting ready to fire off. And we're going to watch a few minutes of qualifying here, see who can set some quick times out here on this Lernerville Speedway. And as the green flag flies, drivers will have 5 minutes to turn 2 laps. And one of the first cars out on track, that is the 22 of Alex Shipman. And he is getting his Ollie's Bargain Outlet up to speed.
Yeah, one of the many guys that will utilize some kind of a custom paint scheme through trading paints or something along those lines to make their car have a little bit of personal flair. A couple of guys as well that use their real world paint schemes and use their real world sponsors. Other guys that will utilize some fictional schemes or just some for fun stuff for some of them for the team that they race with in iRacing. We've got a couple of guys that compete at the high levels with us tonight. The pretty good group of cars with us here tonight, KR.
Right now, the 10 machine of Skylar Brown sits on pole as he shuts it down for his qualifying effort. Several other drivers getting these lap times in quickly. Things are moving fast. James Tiernan in the 4 machine right now. He is sitting in second place. He works that bottom lane coming up off the corner. The 4 holds on to second as he is one of the drivers to keep an eye on. A very quick time in practice and here in qualifying. And Ryan, I'm looking down this order right now. We've had 24 drivers take a time in qualifying so far. Now make it 26 as a few more get out there. Shane O'Banion out on track in his 33 machine. And Ryan, these drivers look like all of them are trying to run the high side right here when this track is nice and fresh. What do you think we'll see some drivers try and work the bottom like we did at Kokomo?
Yeah, I think the bottom group is especially going to come in probably during the second or third heat race as the track kind of starts to wear away. The bottom can be very, very fast here. Could maybe at one point be the faster, definitely the safer route. You won't magically drift off the racetrack. Running the top at Lernerville, especially getting into turn number 3 and 4, is so narrow. Really have to hit your spots. So I see, if you're battling back there in second or third in the heat race and you're just trying to hang on to a transfer spot, running the bottom or maybe more towards the middle, depending on where the moisture's at, how early, in the heat race order you go, that the bottom to the middle could certainly be the safer and potentially faster route. But man, during the feature, depending on how the track works out, sometimes with how it lays out the cushion on the top of the speedway is next to zero, and then there's other points where the cushion's nice and big and something to lean on. So just going to depend on how drivers wear the track out throughout the course of the heat races. And I'm not sure we're going to have enough cars for a C main tonight, but through the B main as well.
Yeah, 26 drivers have taken a qualifying time, and we still have about 5 drivers who still have 1:40 left in qualifying to attempt a lap to set themselves into this field. But as we like to do here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we are going to step away for the national anthem, and we will be back with your starting lineup for heat race number 1. No one go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ram ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the drivers are starting to take to the grid for our heat race number 1. And tonight's heat race is brought to you by Herbert Properties. Let's go through tonight's starting lineup on row number 1, brought to you by Gray Auto. Skylar Brown in the 10 machine, gonna pick up the pole position and quick time. Jacob Gordon in the 41 on his inside. Row number 2 will be the 53 of Braden Fox and the 26 of Matt Thompson. Row number 3 will be the 2 of Austin Archdale and the 71 of John Hoy. Row 4 will be the 01 of Gary Cronenwit and the 98 of Brandon Morin. And that is going to make up our 8-car field, and it looks like the 98 of Morin not able to make it out there as we get ready to fire off heat race number 1. 7 cars I should say, lined up, all of them looking nice and pretty, all of them ready to get down and dirty. Skylar Brown in the 10 machine looking to get a fast start here, trying to break away from this pack. Everyone going to be fighting here for that very quick line, as this track right now is very fresh, very one lane. So here we go, pace truck down and away. The 10 machine of Skylar Brown gets on the throttle, and we are green flag racing. And Brown with an excellent jump, going to clear the 41 machine of Jacob Gordon on the high side, ripping that lip up off at turn number 4. Going to lead that first lap. 4 drivers going to make it into the main event from here. Right now, Austin Archdale holding on to that 4th spot as he is holding on, and he is a little crossed up, saves it, but that is going to cost him a little bit of speed. That 2 machine up on the high side as we go on aboard with the 2 of Archdale. A little bit smoother of a time through turn 4 there, but now once again up on the high side, we got one who has gone up and over into the grass. That was Braden Fox. So Braden Fox finding trouble here early, and that is going to cost him some time. And Fox is going to go ahead and take it straight to pit lane. Skylar Brown in the 10 machine though right now. He is out in front and pulling away. He has a 1.1 second lead with 3 laps to go. That 10 is on rails. He is straight and true as he works his way through 3 and 4 onto the front stretch across the start finish line. We're going to have 2 more laps to go here in heat race number 1, brought to you by Herbert Properties. Archdale in the 2, holding on to 3rd place, and Gary right now is your final transfer spot as Skylar Brown takes the white flag, works his way on to the front stretch, checkered flag in the air. Skylar Brown going to advance into the main event. Austin Archdale finishing 3rd, Gary Cronett finishing 4th, John Hoy, Braden Fox, Matt Thompson rounding out the rest of your field here tonight. So now let's move on to heat race number 2. Your lineup brought to you by Gray Auto. Row number 1 for this is going to be the 4 of James Tiernan and the 27 of Evan Mosley. Row 2 will be the 21 of Corey Clay and the 56 of David Flick. Row 3 will be the 73 of Blake Vermillion and the 91 of Chase Barber. And row 4 will be the 69 of Evan Gindling and the 02 of Dustin Engel. That is your 8-car lineup brought to you by Gray Auto. And Ryan Kent, heat race number 2, about ready to fire off.
Yep, same script, just a little bit of a different set of characters, as it's going to be 8 laps in the top 4 headed to the big dance here tonight with heat race number 2. James here, who rolls off from the pole in his car number 4 here in heat race number 2, presented by Union Graphics. Cars start to pace their way towards turns number 3 and 4. Lights should go out on the pace truck and we will go green here this next time by. We talked about the racetrack, KR. Seems like a lot of guys are able to find different grooves here early on, and saw a little glimpse there in heat race number 1, but this track's going to change dramatically, especially with wing sprint cars from the first heat through the 4.
Yeah, big old tires throwing all that good dirt up into the air, letting it dry out. This track is going to slick off, but pace truck down and away. James Tiernan in the 4, going to fire this field off as we get ready for Union Graphics heat race number 2. Green flag is out, and we are underway in the 27 machine of Evan Mosley with a huge jump, is going to jump out in front of the 4 of Tiernan.
So Mosley able to control that lead early and off that start where Corey Clay started in 3rd. He falls back to the 4th spot as David Flick got by him. That starts to become a good battle for the 2nd spot. Tiernan in the 4, Flick at 56, and Clay in the 21. Running just about nose to tail time through 3 and 4. Clay decided to take a little bit of a lower run off 3 and 4. Didn't quite get the run he needed. He falls into the grips of Blake Vermillion, who Vermillion runs that familiar number 73, which he runs without a wing throughout the rings of Indiana, trying to chase down or transfer a spot away, trying to take it away from Corey Clay.
73 machine just 1 spot out of the transfer, but he is up on the wheel. We saw one driver go out of the park off of turn number 2. Blake Vermillion hoping that he's not one of those. Maybe it'll be someone in front of him as that 73 lays that right rear up on the cushion, gets a good bite, but he might be getting a good bite, but some drivers that have a little bit better. Ooh, it's the 27 of Evan Mosley finds trouble, and now even more trouble. Dustin Engel has gone around coming off of turn 4 in that 02 machine, and he is stuck on the inside wall. Tiernan takes over the race lead. David Flick in the 56 now slides into 2nd with 2 laps to go.
Tiernan about dumped that Hoosier right rear off the Clay in turn number 2. Gathers it back in as the top 3 run nose to tail this time. Coming to the penultimate lap, white flag in the air. One more trip around here in heat race number 2, presented by Union Graphics. Slider from Clay. He and Flick about make contact for the 2nd spot. Side by side for the runner-up spot here in heat race number 2. Clay on the top, Flick on the bottom to the line. It's Corey Clay with the 2nd spot here in Union Graphics heat race number 2.
And so Blake Vermillion in the 73 machine makes it into the show. Evan Mosley, Chase Barber, Evan Gindling, and Dustin Engel going to have to go through a qualifying main. So heat race 2 done and over with. Heat race number 3 getting ready to fire off. Tonight's heat race is brought to you by Mores Automotive Detailing, and the lineup is going to be something like this. Row number 1 going to be the 82 of Dustin Griffiths and Chase McDermott on his outside. Row number 2 going to be the 22 of Alex Shipman and the 59 of Jesse Vermillion. Row 3 will be the 20 of Tyler Kindle and the 12 of Dano Lindsay. Row 4 will be the 06 of Rylan Gray and the 47 machine. That is Marion Roth, but we know him as Ryan Kent Jr., our race admin and booth associate, Ryan.
Yeah, Marion unable to make the call. There's a long story to that, but we are unable to make the couldn't quite get all the parts to put the machine together this week, so we're just gonna have to sit on the sidelines once again.
Well, for those of you who are new to iRacing, they do prefer that you use actual names, and a lot of times they pull the name from however you're paying, whether it be a credit card or PayPal. And Ryan, I would imagine that that is a family member's credit card.
Yeah, it is, and it is. Yeah, when I was about 12 years old, which probably has to do with why my I rating is so poor. But yeah, we're on now. I don't race enough to make the change, but I do need to, just so I can quit getting made fun of it on our broadcast here, KR. So thanks for that.
You're welcome, Marion. Very easy to do. Just contact iRacing support, and they will have it changed in a matter of moments. So we thank you all for joining us here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that thumbs up for these drivers who are putting on the show, trying to entertain not only their fans, but you here on YouTube land. We want to thank you all for joining us here on Turn 3 Racing Network. But heat race number 3 getting ready to fire off. Pace truck down and away. Ryan, why don't you call this green flag?
Murray's Automotive heat race number 3 set to come to green. It's Chase McDermott and Justin Griffiths set to bring us to green. A great start initially for Chase McDermott, and sliding there to the inside was, I believe, Alex Shipman in the 22 machine. He's going to slide up, try to take the spot away from McDermott. Crossover move from Griffiths. Griffiths back to the bottom, and his number 82 machine. He'll slide into the second spot. It looked like a little bit of contact there back in the pack, maybe between a couple of administrators as well. McDermott just about jumps over the cushion on the exit of turn number 2, allows Griffiths to close in 0.3 of a second to lead that last time by. McDermott able to rip the lip perfectly. He leads on lap number 2 of heat 3 here at Lernerville.
Rylan Gray in the 06 machine had a bit of bad luck last Sunday night, but here he is in the transfer spot. He is sitting in third. Fourth place is actually the transfer spot, going to Tyler Kendall in the 20. And that 20 machine looked like he popped the front end up just a little bit, but Kendall not giving up as he is holding on to fourth place for the moment.
Tyler was very vocal about his experiences in iRacing earlier, and we can talk about guys trying to roll the bottom and roll the middle. He's one of those that just picked that line, as he's been able to open up a pretty comfortable gap to Jesse Vermillion. I think something happened there on that initial start, so pretty much the top 4 have been decided. But tell you what, Dustin Griffiths is trying to give Chase McDermott a run for his money. Has a move to the outside in turn number 3 and 4. McDermott goes to the bottom, kind of slides himself right there, about gets into the concrete wall and pulls the front wheels off the ground, and those two make contact for the lead. Slide up and over, and McDermott and Griffiths come together as your battle for the lead here with just a couple laps to go.
They make contact, but good news for both those two drivers. They land on all 4 tires, keep rolling. Final lap, and however all that went down, that Jesse Vermillion in 5th place still didn't have enough time to catch up to him. As they come around, Rylan Gray going to win this one. Tyler Kendall in 2nd, Chase McDermott 3rd, and your final transfer spot going to go to Dustin Griffiths as he launches it into the trees. Jesse Vermillion going to have to go to a last chance qualifier, and we get ready for heat race number 4 here, Ryan.
I'll tell you what, if you're Rylan Gray, some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail. Today I think he was the hammer. He got a little lucky right there, but sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, so it works out. But man, and a couple entertaining heat races here so far, and you've got our gray auto lineup for heat race number 4, presented by Paxson Flooring.
Row number 1 will be the 77 of Justin Lewis, the 13 of Kyle Tessmer on his outside. Row 2 will be the 07 of Ricky Lewis and the 7 of John Steed. Row 3 will be the 37 of TJ Kelly and the 44 of Michael Fescher. As we got the 07 machine having a hard time getting rolling, he is stuck on the grid. And the 33 of Shane O'Banion going to be on row number 4. So that is going to change things up a little bit as one car just cannot get rolling. That is Ricky Lewis in that 07 machine.
Evan Mosley says to put it in reverse, Terry. He might have to try that.
So hopefully he can get out there and make it to the grid. Otherwise, he will find himself in one of our qualifying mains. Right now, the 77 of Justin Lewis sitting on the inside of this front row. Kyle Tessmer on his outside. These two cars are ready to start trying to tear up this Lernerville Speedway.
A couple of real-life guys who have competed here in this heat race. You know, Michael Fischesser's run here with the downwing sprint car. Fischesser, who runs a Tribute 44 to his hero, the late great Greg Staub. Heat race number 4 set to come to green. KR Stolfus, we are underway. A little bit of contact there back in the pack. We're all cleaning green up front as heat race number 4 is off and running as they work their way off turn number 2.
The 77 machine does jump out in front. Kyle Tessmer in the 13, a little bit of over rotation off at turn number 4. That cost him a little bit of time, but not enough that he is out of the running for this race win. The 44 machine right now finds himself in a battle for the final transfer spot. The 33 is Shane O'Banion, gonna try and wrestle it away from him. And in fact, Michael in that 44 machine gonna lose 2 spots. Shane O'Banion in that 33 now sits in the final transfer.
So Banian up as KR said in that 4th and final transfer spot. He's going to put a little cushion behind him as the 37 TJ Kelly got way sideways off the exit of turn number 4. That allows both John Steed and Michael Fischesser to start to close back. You do have Ricky Lewis, who was stuck in the pits earlier. He's now been able to tag on the back of the field, although multiple laps down. We'll put him certainly in a preliminary main event, but right now, Steed and Fischesser starting to go at it just a little bit. Lewis starting to catch up to them there towards the back of the pack. And, oh, he goes around. Steed goes around. Goodness almighty. That was Kelly and Lewis as a couple of your front runners who were running 3rd, 4th right there. They go back, and that now puts Fischesser and O'Banion in their transfer spots. John Steed has been able to continue on, although he is now behind TJ Kelly riding in that 6th spot.
The 7 of Steed tried to drive it down to the inside of Kelly, didn't make it stick. This is a very close one. Once again, almost making contact as the white flag comes out. Justin Lewis in the 77 machine gonna come around turns 3 and 4, put himself in the show as your heat race winner. Kyle Tessmer finishing 2nd, Shane O'Banion 3rd. Final transfer going to Michael Fischesser. I might get that one right sooner or later. TJ Kelly, John Steed, and Ricky Lewis rounding out heat race number 4.
Fischesser, you ever been fishing, KR?
I have. I sat in a boat and someone put a cooler in front of me.
I've now been fishing, but just a Fischesser, my friend. Fischesser. He's got a good sponsor in Ohio. I'm blanking on the name of it. Anyway, they sell chicken. It's clucking good, so it's clucking fast. He's able to put himself into the big dance here tonight.
As we get ready for our B main here tonight, your B main is brought to you by Bob O. Link Liquors, and your starting lineup for Gray Auto Row number 1, John Hoy in the 71 machine and Evan Mosley in the 27. Row 2 will be the 59 of Jesse Vermillion and the 37 of TJ Kelly. Row 3 will be the 53 of Braden Fox and the 91 of Chase Barber. Row 4 will be the 22 of Alex Shipman and the 7 of John Steed. Row 5 will be the 26 of Matt Thompson and the 69 of Evan Gindling. Row 6 will be the 12 of Dano Lindsay and the 07 of Ricky Lewis. Row 7 will be the 98 of Brandon Morin and the 02 of Dustin Engel. That is going to make up your 13-car field here tonight. Brandon Morin unable to once again make the call to the grid, so an early night for the 98 of Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon, a guy who I'm not sure if he's ever run at Lernerville, but runs a number of not only sprint car races throughout the Midwest. Another guy who we had mentioned that could be a contender tonight, and Justin Owen. I understand from close sources to the situation, KR, that he had some issues with his real-world race car last night, yesterday. So taking care of those before taking care of the virtual race car this evening.
Lights have gone out on the pace car, the B main getting ready to fire off. And Ryan, how many are going to transfer out of this B main event?
So we'll take the top 8 finishers into the big dance. There's 14 that are lining up, so 6 guys are going to go home early. No provisionals or anything like that. So simply enough, put in the top 8, you're in the big dance. Evan Mosley with a good initial start. He's able to get away from John Hoy. We are underway. We do have one up into the fence on the front stretch as well. 3 wide, 4 wide action going on. Goodness almighty, the back stretch is a whole lot of cluster going on back there. John Steed goes a different direction. An interesting start.
Very interesting start. One into the wall. That was Dustin Ingold, and Jesse Vermillion on the backstretch got all out of shape, and now John Steed trying to play catch up. Right now, these guys all trying to make it. Only 8 drivers going to make it into the show. They are all fighting and changing positions very quickly. Top 8, a scramble as the 26 machine drives it in deep, picks up the front end. That was Matt Thompson. Another one going around. I'm not sure who that was. I believe that was Dano Lindsay. He gets it sorted out and back onto the throttle, but he falls into 11th place. And TJ Kelly in the 37 machine, he is into 6th place. John Steed back into 7th. As these drivers are struggling out here in this B main, it seems like that back end's really coming around on them.
There's been able to, the leaders, I suppose you could say, have been able to pull away a decent lead, the top 4 or 5 guys. But man, behind them, it's been a whole lot of chaos and pandemonium so far. You've had your front inside row who started 1st, 3rd, and 5th, and John Hoy, Jesse Vermillion, and Braden Fox are now running 10th, 12th, and 13th. So those inside guys did not have a good start. Meanwhile, a guy like Ricky Lewis or Evan Gilling have been able to move up 6 and 10 spots respectively enough. So Evan Mosley continues to power away. Here's a work on lap number 8 of 12 of this B main presented to you by Bobolink Liquors.
5 laps to go in this B main. Now make it 4 as the 27 of Mosley comes around once again. 4 laps to go as he works right through the middle of the track. Looking nice and steady through there. Ricky Lewis in the 07. Looks like he figured out how to get his car up off the guardrail and maybe not hit it this time when he left pit lane. He's sitting in 2nd place. One of the drivers trying to transfer in, Alex Shipman, holding on to 3rd in that 22 machine as we got 3 laps to go.
Yeah, Gilling rides in 4th with Matt Thompson 5th. They've been having a decent side-by-side battle of those two. TJ Kelly riding in the 6th spot, and then it's John Steed in 7th, and a good battle for the final transfer spot, and we've actually got one in the wall as well. I think that was the 02 of Dustin Ingold who goes on his lid. He was trying to get into the big dance, competing for that 8th and final transfer spot, which now belongs to Chase Barber as he just slow rolls the bottom. Looks like John Steed will be in the 8th and final transfer spot. Here's the white flag flies, one more trip around.
Ricky Lewis in the 07 machine is going to pick up the win here in the B main. Evan Mosley 2nd, and 3rd going to Alex Shipman. As this B main event is done and over with. And we're going to have a 4-minute warm-up here, guys. So that gives us a chance, Ryan, to talk about how this A main is going to go about. Not only that, but 410 sprint cars this Wednesday night. Sunday night, we're in the midgets. Talk about a huge change.
Yeah, 2 very, very different racetracks. Kokomo, a track where mistakes can be forgiven, especially in a midget. And in this wing sprint car, like I talked about, man, it's so tight. Especially, like I said, getting into 3 and 4, really getting into both corners. And as the track continues to kind of slick away, it's going to be very, very difficult for these guys to continue to hit their marks. But, up front, Skylar Brown and James Tiernan, you know as well as I do, those are 2 of the best guys that you can find in the wing sprint car. Both of them compete at a very, very high level. How about a redemption story for Rylan Gray? Goes from the C main last week at just on Sunday at Kokomo to now lining up 3rd and having a good shot at a potential win, or certainly a podium here tonight. So one of the young drivers probably the youngest driver that we have in the field. Then there's other guys, Tyler Kendall with a good rebound, going to roll off in 7th. Chase McDermott, you know, he had a front run last week, led a lot of laps at Kokomo. And he's going to roll off in 11th. I know he runs the midget a lot more than he does the ring sprint car. He runs midgets in the real world, so you know, going to be interesting. But you know, we do have a slight change compared to what we had on Sunday night. iRacing cautions will be off. It's going to administrator cautions only. So you want to be up front, you want to get away and try to, you know, practice some social distancing and not be near anybody else in case you do make a mistake or they do.
Absolutely. So guys, we're going to step away for just a moment. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to bring you tonight's main event. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Madness in May, presented by Schaeffer's Racing Oil, is here tonight at Lernerville Speedway. Tonight's race is brought to you by Schaeffer's Racing Oil, Dirty Dale's Diesel Performance and Auto, Herbert Properties, Gray Auto, Bobo Link Liquors, CX Wallets, Quick Lifts, Union Graphics, Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling, Paxson Flooring Installation, Murray's Automotive Detail and Performance, and Evan Gindling Plumbing, your 24-hour emergency service, licensed and insured. So, Ryan, drivers are starting to take to the grid for tonight's A main event. What do you say we go through tonight's starting lineup?
Sounds good to me. Here's your Gray Auto starting lineup with a couple of pros on the front row, KR.
We got Skylar Brown and James Tiernan on row number 1, world-class licenses here in iRacing. Row 2 will be the 06 of Rylan Gray and the 77 of Justin Lewis. Row 3 will be the 41 of Jacob Gordon and the 21 of Corey Clay. Row 4 will be the 20 of Tyler Kendall and the 13 of Kyle Tesmer. Row 5 will be the 2 of Austin Archdale and the 56 of David Flick. Row 6 will be the 40 of Chase McDermott and the 33 of Shane O'Banion. Row 7 will be the 01 of Gary Cronenwit and the 73 of Blake Vermillion. Row 8 will be the 82 of Dustin Griffiths and the 44 of Michael Fischesser. Almost. Row 9 will be the 07 of Ricky Lewis and the 27 of Evan Mosley. Row 10 will be the 22 of Alex Shipman and the 69 of Evan Gindling. Row 11 will be the 26 of Matt Thompson and the 37 of TJ Kelly. And finally, row 12, the 91 of Chase Barber and the 59 of Jesse Vermillion. And that is your Gray Auto 24-car field. We get ready to fire off our A main event. Skylar Brown in the 10 machine had great qualifying speed, a great heat race, and here he is looking to cap off the night with another win.
So Skylar Brown and James Tiernan slowly pace the field through turns 3 and 4. Round number 2 of the Triple Crown Series. Madison May is underway from Lernerville. Right off the start, they go 3 wide in the battle for the second spot. Brown able to scoot away, but it's Tiernan and Ryland Gray going side by side for the second spot. Tiernan up on the top, able to take the advantage away from the youngsters. He'll fall back in the depths of Justin Lewis. Lewis now starts to throw a slider on him. Doesn't quite go all the way to the top of the speed and keeps the car on the bottom. Tries to set his sights back on the youngster, this time at 3 and 4. Gray able to hold steady on the top side, and Ryland Gray strong into that third spot as they complete lap number 2.
Riding on board with the 77 of Lewis as he's working that bottom side. Now he's going to jump up to the high side down the straightaway and once again tries to diamond the corner. Looks like he's getting a little sideways coming up off the corner. Losing some ground to third place, Ryland Gray.
And he's just been able to slowly pull the top in. We talked about the top side of the speedway. It's got a decent cushion right now. It hasn't gotten too thin throughout the course of the heat race. Is able to build up a solid one. So expect guys to be able to lean on that and run that for the entirety of the racing event. But then, you know, back in the pack, especially some guys able to roll the bottom in that fifth spot. They've been able to roll them, including Dustin Griffiths, who so far in his 82 car has gone from 15th up to 6th, and he just got spun around on the front straightaway. He's able to keep going, but there's cars in front of him who hit the wall, flip upside down. We've got a yellow on the speedway.
Yellow flag coming out, and let's go ahead and check this one out. It looks like the 2 machine of Austin Archdale in a big time trouble. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay and see how this all went down for the 2 machine. That is the 40 just in front of him. Several cars had gone off, and Austin Archdale going up and over, and looks like he's going to get smashed, as there was multiple cars involved in this one. Very fast track, a lot of cars not able to get slowed down, not able to see what happened in front of them. We see contact made on the front stretch.
Yeah, it looked like most of the drivers competing for about the 7th, pretty much from 7th back to 11th, 12th. They all pretty much involved in that caution right there. Tyler Kendall was running the 7th spot. Austin Archdale was 9th. Chase McDermott was about 11th right there. So most of the guys battling right around inside the top 10 involved in that caution right there. And that brings us to a slow here on lap number 7 of 30 here tonight.
Skylar Brown in the 10 machine out in front. Right now, 4 machine of James Tiernan sitting in 2nd. The lights are on the pace truck as we're working lap 9 of 30, our first caution of the night. We have had a few drivers go to pit lane. Chase McDermott in the 40 machine has hit pit road and come back off, along with David Flick and Matt Thompson, but they are multiple laps down. Keep in mind, if you are 3 laps or less down, you will get a wave around, as we see one of the drivers receiving that wave around. That is the 40 of Chase McDermott. So league admins felt it was important to try and get as many people on the lead lap as possible, so they continue They always try and issue those wave rounds, but we're getting ready to go racing once again. Pace truck down and away. Skylar Brown in the 10 machine gets on the throttle down to the bottom, looking for some fresh dirt. A little bit of forward bite there. And that 10 now has to deal with James Tiernan down on his inside.
And Tiernan able to pull to the inside and just show him a bit of a nose. Brown, though, doesn't feel any pressure continues to just drill the cushion. And we've already got another caution as it looks like a caution back there towards the back of the pack. Look like maybe the Casey Kane themed machine, the Ollie's car involved. See some damage on his car.
So we go to our turn 3 instant replay. Let's see what happened to the 22. I think he had some damage before that. 4 wide coming up off of turn number 4.
Does not work out here.
And I want to say Dustin Griffiths was one of the drivers involved in this one. Again, some more trouble for the 82. And we're not gonna be able to catch that one, guys. So not sure what happened there, but whole lot of chaos
I just
on
found
that.
it. Looked like Griffith rolling on the inside. Michael Tesser and him got together on the exit of turn number 2. So a tough break for those two drivers. Looks like Fachester able to continue on, but Griffiths will have to head to 19th position, which he rolls in right now.
So the 82 machine finding himself once again with some issues, but he's still out on track. 2 drivers who have called it a night. That is Austin Archdale and Gary Cronenwit. Early exits for them. Matt Thompson 6 laps down, but he is out there turning laps. David Flick is 2 laps down. He will receive one of the waiver rounds here, as well as Corey Clay. But you do only get 1 waiver round per caution. So it's not like they're going to just try and get you back on the lead lap. You still have to work for it.
Absolutely. So working lap number 15, they'll come back and start lap number 16. So this is cross flags here with 15 down and 15 to go. Skylar Brown's your leader with James Tiernan, Ryland Gray, Justin Lewis, and Jacob Gordon, the top 5 as the green silk flies once again here at Lernerville, and 900 horsepower starts to accelerate once again. Slider for the lead. Tiernan on Brown. Brown crosses him under off of turn number 2, points his nose to the top side of turn number 3 and 4, and Skylar Brown is back out in front with Tiernan and Gray right behind him.
So Brown able to hold on to the lead, but Tiernan not letting him get too far away. Lewis in the 77 machine sitting in 4th place. He's trying to run down Gray, but Kyle Tesmer in the 13 machine running right through the middle. Meanwhile, things at the back of the pack starting to get a little more tense as we go on aboard with the 91 machine. Our Nobles Tax Service onboard camera carried by Chase Barber as he's working that inside lane. Several cars trying to roll the bottom here, and they are getting all sorts of jumbled up.
Yeah, like I said, especially here later on in the feature event, that bottom, the middle is going to be the safest line possible. As man, if you mess up on the top, there's absolutely 0 room for error. So if you're back there competing probably from position 7 to 15 or so, that probably is the safest spot to be.
The 59 machine of Jesse Vermillion, Union Graphics on the side of that race car. Nobles Tax Service on the wing. He's going side by side with the 69 of Evan Ginling. And Evan down to the bottom. Looks like Evan's going to take the spot away. Jesse going to try and battle back, but can't get the forward bite needed.
Back up front, though, it's James Tiernan and Skylar Brown continuing to throw their battle and throw sliders at each other for the lead. Side by side into turn number 3. Brown in that yellow number 10 throws a slide with lap traffic looming. Tiernan able to thread the needle on the top side of the speedway as they close in on lap traffic. Tiernan hits it first, rolls on the top, just playing with that small, tricky cushion on the top side of turn number 2 here in Sarver, Pennsylvania. Brown now starts to settle into that second spot. Maybe hoping for caution, maybe hoping to stay green here. See how he can work lap traffic and what he can do here moving forward. But James Tiernan now your leader by 0.4 of a second, starting to slowly grow here with inside 5 laps to go. Well, 5 laps to go this time. Buying a caution on the speedway though.
Big time trouble on the speedway. The 4 machine of Tiernan looked like he got a little piece of it too. Not 100% sure. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay and see how this all went down. As the 4 machine was working his way off at turn number 4, one car up into the wall. I did not catch who that is. I believe that looked like maybe Alex Shipman in the 22, and it was Shipman. Hard impact. Take another look at where this goes wrong. The 07 machine jumping the cushion there. Rejoin the racetrack airborne. Ricky Lewis going around on his side. Lands on all fours, ends up a little bit luckier than Shipman. So Lewis, who would look like he thought he was an airplane for a minute. That's you know, it can happen. A sprint car driver can get really confused. They're going so fast, whether or not they should take
wings
flight.
on top, and
yeah.
So lights are on. The pace truck should leave us with, I believe it should be a green, white, checkered finish. Yeah, lights are going to stay on. The lights are going to go off on the pace truck, so should still be a green, white, checkered finish. We're working on lap number 28 of 30 right now, so they'll be under green for laps 29 and 30. See if Skylar Brown or maybe the youngster Rylan Gray in that 06 has something for your leader in James Tiernan. KR, Corey Clay now going to scoot by the field. He is a lap down trying to get his lap back, but Tiernan, Brown, and Gray, they're the 3 guys left to play here as we come back to green on lap number 29.
Tiernan gets a good jump, but Skylar Brown in the 10, slide job. Tiernan has to get on the binders. He's going to go down to the inside, trade him a spot. Now he slides up, throw in the 06 of Gray at the line. They were side by side. Final lap brought to you by Schaeffer's Racing Oil. The 2 at the front of the field continue to run wheel to wheel, no contact. And now Skylar Brown going to send it down to the bottom. Final time around. Tiernan threads it, and Tiernan going to win this one. Skylar Brown brings it home in second.
My goodness, what a finish. James Tiernan by just the thread of a needle. Up there next to the guardrail, up next to the wall. That was a heck of a finish.
And so James Tiernan, your race winner. Skylar Brown second. Rylan Gray going to end up in third. And man, oh man, what a race that was as the top 3 roll on to the front stretch and get set up for our post-race show. No one go anywhere. We're going to step away from the microphones and get a word in with our podium finishing drivers.
James Tiernan able to pick up the victory tonight, threading the needle on the top side of turn number 4. He now joins us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as we just completed round number 2 at Lernerville Speedway with the Triple Crown Series Madness in May, presented by Schaeffer's Racing Oil. James joins me now, and congratulations on that win. You and Skylar put on one heck of a show tonight.
Absolutely. It was a really hard racing, but it was really clean. We gave each other enough room to race around each other. He certainly could have been a lot more aggressive with that last slider, but he left me a doorway. I was still gonna send it no matter what. Might as well go for it. So it was either here or the other. We've had some run-ins recently. Today was a very clean race, and I
That has to be a big confidence booster. Obviously, you guys race each other a good bit. You've run each other on the pavement sprint cars here of late, and then the wing sprint car as well on dirt. To where you guys and at the elite level of iRacing it has to add a lot of fun to this, to where you guys can race each other as hard as you do on an even playing field. A fixed setup here tonight, and then come out and put on a great show and have a lot of fun here while we can't have real race cars.
absolutely. Fixed setups are kind of the great equalizer. This setup was a little funky to what I usually do, but it was a lot of fun and made for pretty good racing between me and Skylar. So definitely can't complain about.
Talking with James Tiernan, he's our winner tonight at Lernerville. James, who makes your effort possible?
First of all, I'd like to thank Urget Real Estate. If you're looking for properties that need a little more space, or like a pole barn or something where you do racing, he's the guy to go to. He kind of specializes in that kind of thing, or just general real estate. Also like to thank Fairway Mortgage, Over the Wall Photography, Catch Fence Apparel. Check them out on Facebook. They're really connected with the Dirt on Dirt series. BS Air is another huge one I'd like to thank, and I'm pretty sure I got more, but I don't want to take up all night for you guys.
Sure, Baden Stewart contributes a lot to your race team. James, congratulations on the win, and hopefully we'll see you here in the rest of the series as well, as we move on next to IRP and the pavement sprint car, which is something that I know you're an ace at.
Oh, looking forward to it.
That's our winner tonight, our still Mr. James Tiernan.
Now I've caught up with our second place finisher, and that is none other than the 10 of Skylar Brown. Skylar, what a race that was. You led for 21 laps, but James Tiernan held back just a little bit, something extra there at the finish. Man, oh man, I'll tell you, you threw it all out there on the line here tonight.
Oh yeah, that was a great race right there. I led a good bit of it, and it's so hard. It was so tricky up there. You go up there and you got to really feather it and play with the throttle on the top. And I was trying to run a fast, consistent pace, but I knew he was behind me catching me, and I tried running it really hard there in the 3, going as straight as I could and ripping the lip, and I kind of went over the edge. But luckily I didn't go off the track, but my rear end kind of caught the ledge there, and it slung me down, and that opened it up for him to start throwing sliders on me there. And it was a great race. Like you said, we've had some run-ins here lately, and it was good to have a good race. And I could have probably dirtied him up pretty good on that last slider, but I wanted to keep it clean. And we're racing for money, so I didn't want to take us both out of winning anything. It's best to us both to come out with something here, and I didn't want to wreck him either. So it was a great race, a lot of fun.
Well, Skylar, we enjoyed watching that one, and a second place here in the 410s on Lernerville. Got to be a good feeling, but next Sunday we go to Lucas Oil Raceway IRP for the pavement sprint car. How are you feeling about that one?
Pretty good. Those are probably my favorite cars right now on iRacing. So I've been looking forward to running this race for a while. I've been running the pavement sprint cars here lately for the past 3 or 4 weeks, and starting to get a pretty good handle on them. So I'm excited.
All right, man. Well, race cars are expensive. That means everyone needs a little bit of help now and then. Who would you like to thank out here tonight?
I like to thank my guys here at Kinzer Sim Racing. All their sponsors: Wicked Cushion, Profile by Stanford, DRC, Mesilla Valley Trucking, Border Tire, Paints by the Tuna Can. Anybody else I missed? And then all you guys for putting this on, the announcers, you and Ryan, and then everybody, Blake, Jesse, Tyler, John, all the guys involved in the series. It's turned out to be a pretty cool deal.
All right, Skylar. Well, man, congratulations on second place. Nice job out there tonight.
Thank you.
That was Skylar Brown. Ryan, your second place finisher, but I believe you have caught up with Rylan Gray, who is in our third and final step of the podium.
Just a teenager who is in a whole family of racers. I'm sure mom and dad, maybe uncle, are around TV watching right now. Rylan, congratulations on a great run. You if you're going to finish third, there's not 2 better guys to finish third to. Congratulations on a great run here tonight.
Yeah, thank you. The track was pretty slick, so I thought it'd be decently fast to keep up with the guys, but I mean, Skylar and James, they're both pro drivers, so I just let them do their own thing until the last lap. I try to race with them a little bit more and see if I could get an extra spot or not.
Now, you are currently trying to climb the ranks in the real world as an Indiana native, trying to, I'd imagine, ultimately get to some kind of sprint cars or midgets. I know your family's been very involved in that. How is iRacing, especially during this time and not having to sit at a school desk all day? How has this helped you, as a race car driver and your development?
Oh, it's been an escape for me since I won't be able to get in a race car for a few more months due to the virus, and it's been really fun. I've been practicing a lot for multiple series, including this one, and I'm glad to finally get a podium in this series, hopefully to get more soon enough.
Now, I know there's a lot of family behind you that makes this effort possible, but who else helps make you go around, both on the real track and here on iRacing?
Well, I just got to thank Gray Auto, Sean Fraser Designs, Bolted Spine Designs, Badley Farms, Petrie Motorsports.
Rylan Gray, just a teenager, comes home in third tonight. Rylan, we'll see you on the pavement at IRP, hopefully on Sunday, my friend.
Thank you.
Rylan Gray coming home in that third spot here tonight. KR Stolfus, let's go through our full field rundown, my friend.
Our race results from Lernerville in the 410 sprint cars. James Tiernan picking up the race win. Skylar Brown in second place. Third goes to Rylan Gray in the 06. All three podium finishing drivers able to give us a post-race interview here tonight. Fourth goes to Kyle Tesmer, and rounding out your top five is going to be Evan Ginling.
Yeah, Evan Gilling with a heck of a run, going from 20th all the way up to 5th. Justin Lewis started 4th and finished 6th here tonight. Evan Mosley with a strong run. He started 18th and finishes 7th. And behind him, Jesse Vermillion, who was the last transfer out of the B main, started in 24th KR, worked his way all the way up to 8th. Shane O'Banion in 9th, and TJ Kelly rounding out the top 10 from his 22nd starting spot.
Michael Fischescher finishing in 11th place. 12th goes to Chase Barber. 13th, Tyler Kindle. 14th will be the 07 of Ricky Lewis. And Jacob Gordon ending up in 15th spot.
Blake Vermillion comes home in 16th. Corey Clay in 17th. Dustin Griffiths looked really strong early. Unfortunately, ends up the first car multiple laps down. He finished 2 laps down in 18th. David Flick 2 laps down in 18th. And Matt Thompson finishes 20th, 6 laps off the lead pace.
21st goes to Alex Shipman. 22nd, Chase McDermott. The two machine of Austin Archdale finishing 23rd, and Gary Cronwett finishing in 24th here tonight at Lernerville. So, Ryan, I don't know about you, but next Sunday night, that is May 10th, we'll be at Lucas Oil Raceway with pavement sprints. And I know, for one, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, this is one that a number of drivers come into with a lot of uncertainty, but you and I have certainly called plenty of pavement sprint car races, and there's a couple guys in here that can mix it up, and it should still be a fantastic race. Something that's a lot different from most of these guys. Most of these guys are dirt track racers and sprint car racers, so to put them in a pavement sprint car, they're going to have to learn maybe a little bit of patience throughout the course of these next couple of days before they hop in the car on Sunday. But I'm looking forward to it. Now this is we've completed round number 2, so started to get things moving forward, and I think this is going to be something very entertaining and another just fantastic race here tonight.
That it was. So guys, do make sure you join us next Sunday night as we kick off another outstanding night of racing. And I do want to thank our aerial coverage for tonight's race. That was provided by US 50 Auto Sales. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for us here at Lernerville as we head to IRP for Sunday. We got to pack up and get there. And Ryan, you don't have too far to go.
Yeah, I actually do, because Saturday night I get to go see real race cars down in Missouri, so it'll be about a 5.5 hour drive home for me on Sunday before we get to announce some more race cars. But it's been great to work with you again, my friend, and I don't know if you're going to send it home or if I am, but it's another great night of racing here at Lernerville.
That it was. And so with that being said, guys, stay safe and make sure you hit the thumbs up for the show that these drivers put on here tonight. And until we see you Sunday night, y'all stay safe.